So everyone came down here, as we were just talking about, onto the passenger deck. They fully, well, not so fully, but at least every level was seen in some capacity, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Vimgard and Drez being stowed away in the cargo made their way back up to this floor,
Mm-hmm.
or found their way, I should say, up to this floor. Heard a little bit of conversation, dipped, dodged, dived, and all that. Got up here, discovered, what's y'all's other names? Gurn and you, and Saren had just boarded the boat. You went to bed,
Mm-hmm.
and then Saren and Gurn walked down here to this area and discovered this to be a smoking lounge with a
To,
displeasant odor, to
to
say
the
the least.
to the tip of the penis, so to speak.
Wow.
Why would you even say that?
Because it
Yeah.
very clearly looks like a dick. That's all I'm saying. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Never mind, Kit.
Well, you
Okay.
got a dick, surely.
Oh, all right. Should have interrupted. All right, so ignoring that, the smell was also like that encounter, unpleasant and smelled awful, like rotting flesh coming from the vents. Everyone here seemed to, be aware of it, but kind of like, what can you do, and light up another
Wait,
cigar.
rotting flesh?
Yes, had a distinct rotting flesh smell. So,
Where's the necromancer? Let me
right,
guess.
the
Hold
only
up.
thing. The only thing noteworthy here was a quite a fanciful harp that was large and in charge in this room. Changing from that, changing course, everyone barreled back down this hallway towards the other end where you noticed folks at. Here, just before a fancy dining hall that is, obviously quite used, was a kitchen where, some workers were pretty busy tending to all the routines of the boat. Heading up these stairs is where things got interesting. The party, while you lay asleep, happened upon quite the presentation by I believe it was captain, and
Captain, important wizard dude, bomb. Yes.
yes, this is the part I told you about, the glass elephant, yeah, and all that. Okay, so having seen that and everything kind of gone back to normal operations, people gambling and enjoying themselves, the thing was examined somewhat, confirmed that it was definitely containing a bomb mechanism, and everybody eventually ended up back down here on the mid deck. The only other notable thing
Is that I'm
is
trapped
it
in the shadow realm.
is that at some point, uh, faint magical energies of a sort were detected, but left
God damn it.
essentially, uninvestigated.
Meaning that the let me guess, magical
Me-
energy speeding along the progress of the boat due to the wizard dude and the smell of rotting flesh, meaning either A, the crew's
Okay, so
necromantic
you're
poison.
you're asleep. Are you talking in your sleep right now? No.
Yes, I am dreaming real hard.
But yes, that is essentially where we resume. Um,
Would my character
having
know what type of magic the let's see, we've already captured the Gabian, so this is the Nexian wizard would have?
you would need to. I mean, you as you wake up and sense these energies, you could definitely try to. I don't guess you have any magical means. What kind of spells do you have?
On
I don't
my
really know.
I have some instinctual kitsune magic.
What's your lore, your specific lore that you have there? You know what I mean? Like the
Mm,
one you fill in. Is it some kind of crazy
I
furry
think
magic?
I think it's just kitsune magic. Kitsune lore, yeah.
So yes, yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, you know, they're into like shape shifting and stuff, right? So I don't know that it necessarily aids you, but you could definitely try to assume. What I was more getting at is if you had what is it? Help me here, Saren. It's detect magic as the spell, right?
Yeah, detect magic is a spell, and it
And the
takes
but
like
and
a
the
third level
activity
effect.
just confirms its presence. No.
Yeah, it depends what level you're at. If it's a cantrip, when
I'm
it
not
levels
into.
up every 3 levels, so I think once you can get it as a 3rd level, then you can detect the presence and type of magic.
Yep,
Yes,
nope,
yes. I
don't have
meant
it.
just
Untrained
the
Arcana.
just the activity though is the one that's just always just presence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah, and I'm untrained in Arcana, which means, unfortunately, I won't be able to get much information out of it. Darn it.
Yeah.
Would I
I
be able to
think
recall
that's what we all
knowledge?
kind of ended up with. None of us could figure out what magic is here.
Could I recall knowledge? Any briefings by the bartender, other people, stuff I've just heard about Nexians?
Yes.
Let's see.
Furry magic.
Heck off. Anyways, let's see.
Having second thoughts about all this manga I've been. all your
Like you
rec.
could,
I need
you
to
could use,
double check all your recommendations here.
well, you could use your kitsune knowledge thing. If you could just make up a story about how sometime in your past you crossed paths with some type of magic, you know what I mean?
I'm an assassin. I would know about major spellcasting stuff.
Bro, that was the weakest shit ever.
Look,
You just gotta
if
Once
you're
convince
gonna
once
kill
somebody.
people,
once I came in contact with magic. So
hold up. Look, I can BS this. Give
you
me
can
a
say that
second.
about anybody.
Hey, my character is an assassin. As an assassin, they would have to research their targets' mannerisms, habits, their guard, what magic they might deploy in order to counter me. Thus, I would have to know what magic they use, just in general. So that way I could think of a magical safeguard, charm, talisman, or otherwise, or ward to counter them, who thus more easily facilitate their end.
What school of magic do you have?
None.
Be like divine, occult, primal.
Uh, let's see.
School of Hard Knocks of Magic.
Basically,
Oh, there is one thing, by the way, I didn't mention that you guys didn't seem too interested in, but the map indicates it with these little the air vents and stuff. That you guys did notice that there was a series of ducks that seemed to be, you know,
the spell's
At the
divine.
end
a
of
medium-ish, smallish creature.
At the
He-
end of last session, I believe me and Gurn were going to come down here, and we hadn't decided between going to the vents or trying to go through the stairs in the kitchen.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was
Yeah,
what we went about it.
my spellcasting's divine innate.
So what I've seen with that is if you have the divine spellcasting, then you could have an easier time recalling knowledge about divine spellcasters, but not necessarily primal
Yeah.
spellcasters.
Well, I do not remember what to roll for recall knowledge. I'll be honest. Is it?
You can roll anything. You just have to have a
Relevant
good
skill.
excuse. You just
I'm
have
trained
to
in society. I'm a noble son. I would theoretically know about other nobility or ruling classes, and in most governments, magic casters would at least have some prominence. Could I roll society for my
Jesus
recall
Christ,
knowledge?
you could have got a PhD by now. Just roll something. Just roll a d20. All right, so you wake up troubled because this whole time you have been tossing and turning, thinking about some particular runes that you observed on the outside of the ship as you boarded. The symbols were familiar to you but unknown, and as you dreamed, they swirled around in your mind. And finally, you wake up in a cold sweat and realize you have seen these runes before. They are teleportation runes. And so, you recall, not telling your party members yet because you are still in your room, but you recall that these runes were inscribed all up and down, at least the side of the ship from that you were able to see as you were aboard. You know, you guys were kind of lower down on an elevator, but as it was, pulling in, you kind of glimpsed and noticed these runes, and they have been on your mind and now have fully come to it's fully come to your realization that they are in fact teleportation runes. Now, your check has only allowed you to realize what they are, not necessarily how they function, other than the obvious, the name of them revealing their primary function, but not necessarily the
Not
mechanics
necessarily
of that
speed
function.
mechanics or where they're
Yes,
going.
exactly. This information would be pertinent to know. So, having awoken in this cold sweat, what do you do? Do you run out of your room looking for the party, or do you jump overboard, or do you roll back over and go to sleep?
Take care of the morning wood.
Wow. Again,
Jesus Christ.
Not in November. Anyways, I guess I'll have to go tell the party and open the door. If the door will open.
yeah.
Oh, let's
It's
see.
your room. You're not locked in it.
Let's see.
This hallway seems to dead end though, so you would need to go back out to through the cigar lounge, which is how they, I believe, happened into it. Your compatriot though does find himself in that stairwell room where you have vision.
Bye. Anyways, have a good time. I'll go to the cigar lounge first, and unless anything happens, traverse all the way to the party. But I don't know if I have enough movement speed to do that in whatever we're calling a turn.
Well, I mean, we're just kind of in an exploration, loose turn order at the moment, but since you have the most limited time and you weren't here for 2/3 of the last time, I was, just kind of letting you catch up here.
Hey guys, plan's in trouble. And I will tell them that I recognize the runes on the boat and that they're teleportation runes. And the idea of just sinking the boat might not work, because if I was a smart villain, I'd teleport fairly quickly to the place you want to blow up with the ship full of bombs. And if we blow up the ship, that would probably just serve to do the enemy's job for them. Then Loveless gets to blame it on us and create a military, and basically things are not good.
All right.
What do?
That checks out with you, neutral.
I say, well, if we blow the ship up, they can't get it to the power station Alkenstar and destroy Alkenstar's power station.
The thing is we really need to figure out how quick acting the teleportation spell is. If we're already there, we'll have to do this the official way and, disarm the bombs and that whole trope. If it's not, reaching charge on the hull or keel, sink the ship, dive off, maybe sound a klaxon to say, hey, evacuate. Maybe.
So, at the mention of this plan, no one at all, of course, Drez doesn't need to be in earshot of this plan because it is a plan that he more or less proposed, at least in part, earlier, and was, other action was taken. However, as you're explaining this, you're a little bit uneased that no one seems to have any problem at all with just killing everyone on this boat, except Gurn, who has a slight tinge that innocent folks don't deserve to die, but is satisfied with your last statement that, maybe you attempt to raise the alarm at the very last.
Well, I bring up the idea that we could always, like, Titanic it and put a hole in the hull and make it sink slowly and not just incinerate every innocent person.
That's what I was talking about with charge on the keel. That'll flood the ship, basically. It'll give people time to get off. And I don't think we have a powerful enough explosive to do instant explosion or anything that would immediately destroy the ship. It'd be
Well,
best if we had multiple explosives for multiple
Well,
hit points against the
we
keel.
do, because there are already 3 explosives on the ship, and I've got one in my backpack. We
And
just
we
set
know
one
where
of those
one of them
off,
is.
and everything goes up.
You definitely are assured that if one of these were to detonate, and really you'd have to locate them, but I mean you have a key to one of them, yes,
Yes.
for
After
arming
it
it, but arming it and detonating it are two different things, right?
Well, after he tells us this, could I do a quick Arcana? I don't have good Arcana, but just to see what I know about teleportation, if those
Yeah.
runes teleport the
can.
ship, or if the runes are just allow people to teleport on.
I think Garn said he had Arcana, so it might be best for him to do the check.
And whoever
Yes.
has high,
Recall
That's me.
blindly.
Oh, sorry.
Recall blindly, please. And we will see what you know.
For the record,
Excellent.
68% of the people on the Titanic died, so I don't know how good that plan would be.
well, I assume they have more lifeboats.
It didn't even blow up. All right. So,
Sorry, Jack could have stayed alive. There's more room on that door.
Vimgard offers, after hearing the account of these runes, offers that, during your time adventuring here and living in the Mana Waste, you are sure that however these things are designed to work, that there is some other function that may, arise. But having heard this, it explains quite simply to you why you have been feeling some of the unusual energies that you've been feeling. And after a short time of, conferring with your studies and things and communing, you come back to the party almost confident that these runes are gathering energies from the latent magical energies that exist in the Mana Wastes, and it is only a matter of time before they are fully charged and able to transport seemingly the ship, which would be the purpose of them being up and down the hole.
Okay.
So we're on a time limit to disarm the stuff, sink the ship, or somehow, in some other way, avert this catastrophe.
And remember,
Um,
the last week we also figured out that we have time for one rest before shit would hit the fan. I believe is what we figured out.
Okay.
Well, so yes, I believe what you're remembering is, so the boat, you were kind of trying to figure how far away the boat is, and I believe we said it is more than a day's journey. I mean, it is, meandering down this, river. It's a pleasure cruise, right? It's a riverboat. It's supposed to be a transport, but also pleasurable at the same time.
So we do know that their target is the power station, correct?
That is what you presume, and that is what your new confidant Parsis, he kind of spilled the beans, and he told you that yes, their plan is to detonate this boat at the Hydrate Forge, essentially destroying the power and vastly altering the flow of the river there.
Hit the power plant, causing that city disaster, human casualties, no power. Terrorist attack, you blame that on terrorists, you get the government person to start a bill that massively increases government spending into a military, start a draft, arm military under Lovelace's control. Fun!
Basically what you guys spent the last 20 years doing.
Well, I was, how old do you think the people that wrote this are? I mean, come on, bro. Of course, they lived through
course,
this.
Oh, so what do we figure here? We're just gonna say screw it right now and go blow this shit, or do we want to explore anymore or rest?
I think since we know we haven't teleported yet, breaching
I say
charges on the keel is, I think, one of the best plans. It skips 95% of the bullshit.
Better close your
Nothing.
bedroom door. Your mama be in there washing your mouth out with soap.
My dad's in the room with me. He's okay. Point is that
I didn't say dad. I'm dad too. Dad don't give a shit.
point is breaching charge on the keel is gonna sink the ship. We use one of the devices as a failsafe. I'll take it and the key. And if the ship's not sinking quickly enough, everyone but me bails and we light the place. Human casualties are chances high, unfortunately. We can sound klaxons and try to cause alert to get people out of the rooms on the lifeboats or off the ship, but from the mathematics of the situation, it seems we sacrificed the ship for Alkenstar not becoming a super heavily militarized state that probably goes on to cause at least one war. Because
The only real worry is that with the teleportation rooms, if we don't succeed in like leveling the ship, are they just gonna fucking teleport the ship to the forge?
that's all we need to sink it quickly enough or blow it up entirely.
Yeah, we need to make sure it's a big boom.
That's why I said I would stay behind with one of the armed devices, because then it's 3 bombs, but it's 3 bombs expected to take out the whole ship. Could me or Gurn try to make a crafting check to estimate the blast radius on the bomb?
You could, but I mean it's pyronite, and it's a, or at least a very close pyronite example. And pyronite is it is a new thing. You missed all this. This is why I'm kind of explaining it. So like book one really established that the whole thing is that pyronite is a super duper uber powerful explosive that in small quantities is extremely devastating. So
Pyronite knockoff in that lab caused the whole place to go on fire, right?
and that was a failed one. That was what does he call his, Lazerium or whatever? That was a shitty substitute. Yeah, the stuff that Lovelace has been crafting through the gunworks and all that you guys have been on the trail of is essentially the real deal or better. Yeah.
So it's
You find
either
out
real Pyronite or a refined version.
It's kind of like think like Mission Impossible movie when he's got like a little drop of something and he flicks it and the whole building just destroyed, that kind of a thing.
And
All
I think
right,
we found
fun.
out that Lovelace has created an even more powerful pyronite than the original stuff.
And vats of it, right? So like
And
yeah.
we still haven't located 2 of the 3 bombs on the ship as well.
Well, I think I would like to try to make a crafting check to see if I could estimate just how damaging one of these bombs would be based off of
Sure.
the
Yeah.
defined Pyronite example.
You attempt to, and based on everything you know about pyronite and other explosives, you don't come up with anything close to a precise number, but you are confident that anything close to the amount of pyronite that you saw the capability of manufacturing, via the gunworks, or that you were told about, via these guys, you're confident it would definitely take out this boat and a lot more.
Do I have any, am I able to estimate how much Pyronite, like, maybe via, like, a stick, I guess, is
Yeah, it
in
is,
one bomb we have?
Well, for our Canadian friends, it is a metric shitload.
So basically,
Metric.
there's How many tons of TNT equivalent is this?
Lots.
Okay. Are we at kiloton?
Acme levels. Acme cartoon levels of explosive.
I'm young. You gotta dumb it down.
What?
Wile E. Coyote. Is that still a thing?
Gotcha. Okay. I don't know, but
He doesn't even know Wile E. Coyote.
hey, I know what that is. I just don't know if that's still playing.
Look, if they hadn't just yanked John Cena's movie, everybody would know Wile E. Coyote in a few weeks.
Boy.
Point is we have one bomb that is very big boom and one stick of the substance that is at least enough to cause a hull fracture and sink the ship.
There you go.
Yeah, I think the best plan is sink the ship, and then if nothing else, use the clockwork machine or me as a failsafe and have one of us turn the key if the ship isn't sinking quick enough.
It is a valid thought, though, that you are having. While you are having it, your conversation takes a more hushed tone as bumbling down these stairs, 4 shield marshals just kind of bumble through here, obviously on some kind of patrol. They gruffly look at you, but don't pay too much attention as they all enter the hallway here and seem to just continue on about their business.
Do I know what the lower deck is? Like the lowest deck.
I mean, the party here has informed you that it is the cargo deck. Yeah.
Do they know if there's any engineering facilities on that deck?
They did not get that great of a look. No.
Still, we want the lowest point on the field.
You return, though, to your conversation, and you were making a valid point that the party pays attention to because, the blast radius needs to be somehow considered or accounted for. If your plan is, in fact, to blow this thing and go home, you can't just set the bomb, jump off the side of the boat, right? You're going to get blasted, probably. So,
Problem is if we do blow up the ship, it stops the strike on the power plant, but would this still count as a don't mess with Alkenstar's boats thing and still cause the massive military spending increase?
Interesting.
Which means unless stuff goes horrible, we'll have to use the small explosive device to sink it and make it look like
We have to make it look like domestic terrorism.
So, I know technically I'm not in that conversation with you guys, but one thing we haven't considered at this point is the actual depth of the river where we're at. Is it so deep that there would be significant risk to the life of the passengers if we did sink the boat? Or is it going to go down like 10 feet and not be able to move, but nobody's going to drown?
Problem is if it can't move, it's that deep, not deep enough, then the ship would still feasibly teleport. We want basically enough water or enough volume of water to disable the remaining explosives.
Right, but that's why I'm saying we need to find out how deep the river is right here. Because if our plan is to douse everything under the water and we only have 10 feet of clearance, then we've still got something to deal with.
What kind of hull does this riverboat have?
Well, so just to you guys would generally be aware that I don't know what term would have developed in the in Alkenstar, but generally a twain is the least amount of water a riverboat can be in, which is about 12 feet. So
I was just thinking somebody could like wander around until they find the captain and just kind of casually ask him questions about the river and the trip. And
true enough.
How deep is it around
or
here?
Just again, and we are theater of the minding the fact that this boat think about a typical kind of cruise boat. There's, people milling about. A few people have even entered here, eating. There's people upstairs gambling. This is a lively place, as it were.
Pencil.
People
Does
about.
anyone have a fishing rod?
Sure, we can find one.
Do I know what the whole shape of the ship is?
Uh, boat shaped? What do you mean?
Is it flat? Is it curved? Is it like the points? Like,
I mean, generally, I mean, it is a steam type boat, right? Like a river type boat. So the bottom would be flat.
So I don't have a fishing rod, but I do have 50 feet of rope. If we were to tie something heavy to the end, toss it overboard, let it hit bottom, pull it back up, and look at how much of the rope is wet.
Yeah.
that,
Containing-
or we know that they can't operate in less than 12 feet. How tall is the boat?
Well, so the boat is 3 levels, essentially.
They're each
if
10
they-
feet high. The bottom
yeah,
level's 15
yeah. I
feet.
mean, it would be like between 30 to 50 feet tall, sure.
30 to 40 feet tall?
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
Let's see, cargo 4 levels, 10-foot haul. So about 40 feet above the water line, and probably about 15 feet below the water line. So this boat has probably got to be in, 20 feet of water at least, just from the general dimensions of it.
And one bomb's on the top deck. Yeah, we really need to know what the water depth is.
Yeah, because just knowing at least 15 feet doesn't really put us in a safe enough area.
Yeah, theoretically, we could have as little as 5 feet of clearance.
The question is, who can swim? You can just tie the rope to a person, have them jump in.
I think, honestly, our best chance might be ask the captain or navigational crew. Or break into one of their rooms. Navigation room's probably going to have charts. River depth's probably going to be on there, or at least estimates. So our options are stealth or persuasion, and we need to find the captain or find the navigation officers or find their charts.
So continue searching the boat, basically, we're down to.
I think so. Basically, we need the captain or someone who knows.
And it would be helpful to find the other two bombs, too. Just
Well, so you
we
guys,
have one bomb. We
when
know
you-
where one bomb is.
when you
Aren't we
walk,
looking for one final one?
when you walked upon, well, there's 3, but when you walked upon the presentation of the glass elephant, you guys noticed that on the mid deck, there's a lower portion that these stairs exit out into, and that's where all the gambling was taking place, all the gambling tables. And then there were stairs that went up onto a half top deck. Drez walked up there. There was some more gambling tables, but underneath of those, the mid deck continued in. There was a sign, I believe, indicating that these were, the private suites, no entry, etc., and so forth. And this is the area in which the captain and the wizard made their exit to.
Do we know where the wheelhouse or navigation room are?
At the moment, no, but presumably up, right?
Okay. Let's see. Wheelhouse would have to have clear visibility. Navigation room would have to have some way of communicating with the wheelhouse. So,
Here's a
visible from surface. We wouldn't have seen anything that looked like a wheelhouse when getting on the boat, would we?
Here's a look. I'm putting in the chat. This is a picture from this picture in the book
I think it's a
of
good
the
assumption.
boat. This will
I
help
think it's
a
a
lot.
good assumption that shit like that was going to be in that area that we shouldn't, that we aren't
No,
supposed to go into.
Obviously from the rear.
Okay. there's going to be a rudder and an emergency wheel at the back. What we want is the main wheel, because that will be near the navigation room up towards the front, or we want the captain. So, private rooms or front of the boat, probably surface visible, at least from like a top-down perspective.
Yeah, I would think that the highest level at the front of the boat is where we're gonna find the wheelhouse and all that shit.
Yeah, at least somewhere that way.
And we know it's guarded, so we gotta, if we want to go there, we gotta figure out a way to get in there.
Vent structure.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We could try those vents and see if that works.
Just as you speak about the vents, you notice that all of the ducts suddenly slam shut, and you hear a hissing sound all throughout the system.
They're gassing us out.
And shit.
It just continues on. It's not stopping.
We
Fuck
need to
it.
get topside.
I think I'm with Drez at this point. Let's just blow that pyronite and see what
Well, there's
happens.
nothing coming. There's nothing coming out of the vents. You just hear like a hissing through the vents.
Okay, so we're not getting gas, but the vents are getting scoured or they're locked down at the very least.
Is that smell from the smoking lounge? Evident in coming from the vents or no?
No, not here.
I think either our options are damn the consequences, see what happens, or try to find the captain / that stuff. I'll leave that up to y'all.
Just as y'all are continuing your conversation, a servant busts through the door behind you here, almost bumping into you, Liam, and says, "Oh, do you all require anything?" They seem to be a waiter in the dining room here, getting ready for early dinner service.
I was just marveling your ship here, sir, and it's so complex, and I imagine the wheelhouse is quite a sight to behold indeed. I was wondering if I may be guided to it to simply observe, of course, nothing more.
Okay, so you can do this diplomatically or with some intimidation. Roll what you choose. Uh, this crew member just bristles and says, "Oh no, I couldn't. But I'd be glad to help you navigate any other areas of the ship that are open to guests." And she's seemingly awaiting for your response.
Well, I would simply just love to meet the captain, if I may, of course.
Okay, you could try that again. In either of those ways, or a way of your choosing, if you so describe.
Deception wouldn't exactly be applicable, because even though I wouldn't love to meet the captain, it's still persuasion. So diplomacy, we untrained in it, unfortunately.
Well, you seemingly have convinced her. The light touches your face just so. Perhaps she notices a whisker or two and is moved and says, I can see what I can do, but I'm just a waitress." And she seems to, be kind of wanting to help you, but I mean, she gets paid by the hour type of deal. She asks you though, where can I find you later if the captain would meet you?
By the elephant statue.
Well, she says, "Oh, grand," and she kind of walks away and flits about the room, preparing some more things, and then disappears through this door to the south.
Okay, so that's that. When the party's a horrible idea, especially when we have no communication between each other.
Well, considering that, alone in the stairwell, Drez, do you try to confine the party, or what are you doing, contemplating your fate?
No, I was heading downstairs to see if I could find the engine room.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do. And I am, of course, moving about stealthily as I do that.
Okay. Let's see here. Do. So that exits out. Where does that exit out? Where you guys came up before. Here you are. All right, so you step out onto this landing. Let me you to it. All right, so you step out onto this landing, and what will you do as you step down into this area? Give me a couple of actions at least.
All right, I am going to move back down this hall. And I know we've explored the area to the south. So I'm going to go up here and I want to take a look at all the signs that are on the wall here to see what they say.
Okay, well, as you approach this end of the hall, you hear indistinct chatter once more. It becomes a little bit more distinct as you are approaching, the end of the hallway here. And the signs are similar to the ones you saw here. They just have people's name and seeming position. These look to be crew bunks, crew quarters.
All right, I'm going to move to here. And can I make out anything that the voices are saying now?
You can't. They seem to be just kind of in haughty conversation. Boastful type of things. You can hear like the clink and chink of, gambling chips and drinks. It seems to be some guys having a good old time.
All right, I'm going to move cautiously up here and to right here. And it looks like I can see something around the corner.
You can. You see some gentlemen surrounding, or at least what looks like some gentlemen, humanoid shape, stationed around a table, seemingly engaged in cards, but in almost a mimicking fashion. Like they're programmed almost to just be like pantomiming playing cards.
Can I tell anything about this door over here from where I am?
You cannot. You can see it, but it just looks like any of the other doors that you've come through.
Are these things still talking?
Yes, but as you get close, you can tell the reason you've been unable to make out the chatter is that it's not chatter at all. It's just like a reproduced, almost like a mime, or like a pantomime sound of a conversation.
All right, I'm going to recall knowledge to see if I can identify what these things are.
You don't know specifically what they are, but you could easily tell they are clockwork constructs.
All right, let's see. I don't think there's anywhere else down here that we haven't explored. So I am going to then head back upstairs to tell everybody else about these things down here.
Okay. So let's see here. As we go back upstairs, let me pull you just to the scene and remove you. Hold on. So on here. All right. So as you pop up at the top of the stairs, you find. Hold on. A shield marshal heading seemingly to go down these stairs to the break room and stops you dead in your tracks and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" He points right in your face.
All right. I immediately begin acting drunk, and I say, "Excuse me, gentlemen. Do you know where the bathroom is?"
All right. One of them steps aside, grabs you by your collar, and shoves you kind of in between these two. How do you respond to being shoved? Do you continue your
Yeah, I'm like,
ruse?
"Oh, thank you so much," and I whip it out and start peeing.
This one screams, "Ah!" and jumps out of the way. I'm assuming, are you going into the hallway here with it?
Yeah.
All right. This one shoves you from behind. Do you give way to the shove?
Sure.
Okay, he shoves you square into the hallway here. And these guys just kind of start smacking you in the back of the head, telling you to get out of here, you drunk.
All right,
Do
I'm
you-
gonna stumble off down, but no, that's not leading towards the ballroom. I'm gonna start stumbling down this way,
All right.
tucking it back in.
All right. They seemingly buy this ruse and all step around the puddle you've just made, grumbling about getting this cleaned up. All right. As you fumble with your britches down the hallway, uh, what will the party do over here? Any of you other three folks that have not said much?
I'd like me and Gurn go and get out just outside this door of the kitchen. And I just go to him. Jesus Christ, man! I asked you to get me a good scotch. You got me this swill, man. You're such a piece of shit. I could have hired 5 goblins, but better than you, smarter than you. And then I turn around to walk away.
All right.
Make sure I do it loud enough so that the help could hear it.
Okay.
I tell Gurn to go and get me the proper whiskey that I asked you to get me.
Kind of bust in here. Fuck, can you believe that, asshole? You guys got whiskey in here?
Yeah, you just walk on in and burst on in this one.
Yeah, it's kind of like I own the place.
Okay.
Looking around. Yeah, I'm sure you guys don't get paid what you're worth or what you're worth either. People like that like to grind you under their thumb.
Well, they almost don't hear you over the hustle and bustle of the kitchen here, and one of them, who appears to be something of maybe the head person, this lady right beside you, bops you on the head with a wooden spoon and tells you to get out of here.
Forgive me. I will just head on up here.
Okay, so these stairs go down.
Very well then.
Are you gonna bumble on down these stairs?
Yeah.
All right. They don't seem to take too much notice being busy with their kitchen duties. And let's see here. Put you in and pull you to the scene. So where you at? Alright, so boop, 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 and pull you in. And what are you doing with your gross clockwork freak boy? Corpse boy.
Stay there if I don't return. Follow
A
my
death
crap.
prime.
Alright. You you pop out. Let's see, where are you? Gurn. You pop out on this staircase. Right in front of you, you see a crew member hard at work oiling what seems to be a very large timing chain. The sound of an engine churning is quite apparent. This seems to be very easily the engine compartment. You see several other folks hard at work. They don't take too much notice of you popping in on the stairs right here, because their jobs are, of course, very labor and attention intensive.
Okay.
But you have a clear view of the the engine and the machinations of the ship here.
Do a perception check to see if anything sticks out. Like might be a bomb of some sort.
Sure. So, you look over this thing, and everything seems to be quite normal. This seems to be the the mid-engine of the ship connected to the main turbine here.
Rather dangerous setup they have here.
It's the wild Alkenstar West, boy. As you step further into this room, these gentlemen do start to take notice of you and begin to holler at you that this is not a place for the public.
Yeah, okay, I'm just looking for some whiskey here. I'll scoot past you.
He does not seem to take notice of you leaving not by the way that you entered. Obviously, again, the job that they're on is very intensive. You step out into a nondescript hallway here. You can hear the rush of water louder in this area than you have at any other spot on the ship here.
Perception check this door.
It is just a door. Doesn't seem to be anything too fanciful about it. You don't notice any traps or anything. Nothing obviously, wires or any kind of booby traps like that. It just seems to be a door.
Oh, is this the elephant?
So you see the platform from whence the elephant was hoisted, yes. Let's see. I think they have this a drawing again. I don't know how they did that one. I think this one's just part of the map. But yeah, this is where it is stored before they had hoisted it up there. So, as you enter this room, it seems to be a pretty normal looking cargo room. There's crates scattered about. Obviously, this is where it seems the elephant was stored. Some of the casks and things here are very, very large. Metal pillars here in the middle gird where the elevator or the lifting platform is.
Let me check out this little pouch.
What little pouch? What are you talking about? Oh, on the ground right here.
Is that just a...
Let me zoom in. Yeah, you can. You want to roll a check? So as you walk over here, you notice that around the elevator are some items that have either fallen off while being lifted up or left behind by someone. But a small bag lies here next to the elevator. And you find some contents inside. You begin to rummage through the rest of this space as your companions upstairs do what? Who's got something they need to do?
I was thinking, can I do a society recall knowledge society?
One of these
see how-
times when you guys say, "Can I do this?" I'm gonna just say no, just to fuck with you.
Yes. Sorry. I am going to do a society check to see what the rotation of the guards is like, how long they come around. Because I've noticed that they've been coming around quite a bit.
Sure, go ahead. You have not observed them enough to notice their timing or anything, but you have noticed that their patrols seem to be not infrequent.
Okay. Don't want to eat anymore. I will kind of start coming in the hallway and seeing what everyone else is doing.
All right, you find this creature in the hallway, and there doesn't seem to be any, even though there are people milling about the ship, there doesn't seem to be anyone who wants to get very close to Gurn's incredible construct. What was its name again?
Hideki Prime. Okay.
No, Reese's. Reese.
Reese's, yeah.
Reese.
Yeah, I just kind of start talking to Reese. That's about it. Not
To the mindless
well.
thing
Everyone's kind of.
constructed of
They
dead.
kind of had a romantic moment earlier.
There was
Gotta
just-
see where that goes.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
right.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. So the gunslinger and the furry, what are you guys doing here as your orc companion begins conversing with this thing?
Let's see. Just give me a rundown real quick. We have one pyronite stick Drez has, and we have one bomb from the energy place, and there are 3 more bombs on the ship, or
No,
2 more bombs on the ship.
We have a key for one of the bombs, but not the bomb itself. But we have figured out one of the bombs is hidden in the glass elephant. I believe.
Gotcha. Elephant is visible to the surface, correct?
It has been lifted up and is currently on display in the mid deck. Yes.
Okay.
And the room that Gurn has entered is directly underneath of it. So like the platform that it's sitting on, the bottom of it is the ceiling and the room Gurn is in.
Garn's in the engine room. That would need to be
He's in
near
the cargo hold. Yeah.
That would need to be near the back, and the paddle area. Unfortunately, to say it, best chance for sabotage success would be to prevent hostile damage control parties, meaning sabotaging the engine room or setting up charge in the engine room would be one of our best shots for sinking or destroying the ship.
If we
Can't
set off the
move the other.
pyronite charge, we're definitely going to destroy the ship because the explosion's going to be big enough to set up the other 3 that are on board.
Yeah. Well, we have, like, I'm guessing a stick of pyronite, right? Is
Yes,
that
that will
enough?
make an explosion big enough to set off.
Okay, that itself
the others
would
on the
set
ship.
off the stuff. Okay.
Yeah, this very small quantities of this stuff does a lot of damage.
Well, I'm not sure if this is like throw a
We-
stick of TNT at it and it will wreck the engine room, or if this is,
I mean, it'll definitely
Like,
wreck the
we know
engine
for-
room, but it'll also
wreck the
be
rest
enough
of the
to
ship.
reach the other bombs and basically turn the ship into vapor.
And do we know that, or should we be doing some sort of crafting check to see that?
We went over the effects of pyronite at the very beginning of the session.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, we do not have an explosive small enough to use as a demo charge. Correct?
Not immediately. I suppose one could be crafted if we could scrounge the materials somewhere.
Hmm. I think
Or we
what's
could just
really
start shooting
important.
shit.
I think what's really important is we have to define: are we willing for civilian casualties? How badly do we want to just sink it, and how willing are we to let this be a potential, they blew up our boat, we're going to war.
Well, I'll just throw this out here and you guys can do with it what you will. We're the outlaws of Alkenstar, not the choir boys of Alkenstar.
Got
I
him.
agree with that statement. I'm fully willing to blow this ship up without sounding a single bell, but I'm trying not to enforce,
Well, the
We're
other
the
thing that
outlaws of Alkenstar that have been working for the law for the past 16 months. I'm ready to break it.
Well,
one thing we do have to keep in mind is that if we set off our pyronite to destroy the other pyronite on the ship, the blast radius is going to be huge. How far
We
can
ain't
we
going to make
get?
well, that's what I meant by asking, because I think the blast radius of a stick of pyronite is 20 feet.
Now listen, I'm going to be real serious here.
Let me see what
This
the
is-
actual tooltip says.
This is for those of you who I know watched the same movies I did as a kid. We all know that getting under any amount of water will save you from any kind of explosion in an action movie.
Alright, I have a dumb question. How many kilograms of TNT do we want to estimate the pyronite charges combined to be?
What the hell is a kilogram?
It's 100 grams.
2.2 pounds.
I was educated in the Tennessee public education
Wait,
system.
did you just say it's 100 grams? That's not even right, is it?
It's 1,000 grams.
Oh, 1,000, yeah.
Okay, how many pounds do we want to say this is, and I'll find a metric to converter. Point is I have a thing that will estimate a certain charge size in kilograms of TNT, and
Does that go by
it will
Valerian
determine what range fatal and what range certain types of windows and structures will be damaged.
Stop talking before I have to report you to someone. All right.
It's on my. It's
I
on the
put-
internet on my computer. Nice try.
I put the pyronite in the chat there if you guys want to take a look at the tooltip.
Big bada boom. Big boom. Kablooey.
That's
Yeah, that's if you use it on somebody.
All right. Just give me a ballpark. We're thinking equivalent to 1,000 pounds of TNT, 100. More or less.
I think the problem is none of us
Entire
actually
hydro
know
port, right?
exactly how damaging 1,000 pounds of TNT would be, so we can't
Yeah.
really give you an answer.
That would be half a megaton. Or,
We also don't know what half a megaton of TNT can do.
Well,
Or-
so it would be important to mention at this point that you are all aware that this boat is primarily constructed of wood. So,
We
I
could
mean-
burn the water line. There's options.
well, I'm just saying an explosion of any kind is probably going to be very devastating structurally, right, to the boat.
And if you're going that route, I can just whip up a few bombs then.
Well, and so I mean, there you go. There you have it, right? What empty your pockets, I guess you might think. Like if Gurn, especially, I mean, he could fill up a crate in the room he's standing in with like alchemy, fire, etc., so forth. I mean, you could make like a what do we used to call that? The party punch,
What if we just went down to the dining room and got some strong alcohol and made some Molotov cocktails and just tossed them into the engine room?
That could also work. The first nuclear bomb dropped on Hiroshima was 13 to 18 kilotons. So the TNT to kiloton. I'd say alchemical fire or Molotov cocktail plan also works. A ton is a certain amount of gigajoules. So 1,000 kilograms is a ton of TNT, which means a kiloton is 1,000 tons of TNT, which means to get one kiloton, it would be. Point is if we set off the Pyronite, very big boom.
So,
is
two
it- is that a
things.
metric ton?
Point. I'm trying to figure out if we set off the Pyronite, are we leveling part of the city?
Okay, so I think one, you may be overthinking things just a little bit too much for our silly Western fantasy adventure. And two, please don't get us on any government watch lists.
I won't.
Don't get yourself on any either, but
Let's see, 32 meters for 1,000 pounds of kilogram TNT for houses completely demolished.
Hold on. I'm trying.
Safe to say, if we blow it up with Pyronite, we're probably gonna wreck a few buildings. Molotov time.
Okay, I've lost control. Okay, so
Congratulations, y'all brought the nerd to a thing where you started to discuss explosives. What did you think happened?
it's turned into a very serious war game.
Well, you got to take into account that at the end of World War II, they nuked the biggest Chinese or Japanese battleship and it didn't sink. Just saying.
Well, which
but
was
you know what
I'm
did
sh-
happen when they dropped nukes at the end of World War II?
I'm
That was
sh-
the USS Nevada that we did the 2 nuclear tests on.
I'm
That's all I know.
and
No,
I am
and
sure as Old Glory still flies that boat was made out of hardened folded steel, whereas this boat is made out of wood.
Well, that settles it. Let's blow this motherfucker up.
And traveling on down the riverway as people are gambling and having the time of their life.
How
All
wide
these
is the
rich
river?
folk. Good question. I would refer you back up to, if you look at this pic that they provide for us, this river is, I would say the boat is about a third of the river. So it's about a third of the boat's width on either side. Or
Okay.
excuse me, it's the boat's width on either side to the shore. You catch me? 1/3 all the way
Gotcha.
down.
How
Yeah.
how wide is the boat? In yards, preferably.
What yards? The fuck?
Yes.
It's
32 meters is 34
50
yards. That's
feet.
50 feet. Divide by 3. Uh, I'm doing more math for this than I do in my actual college math class.
Well, that's disturbing.
100 feet is 30 meters, if you're wondering.
Okay. Let's see. 50
Roughly.
feet, 16 yards, roughly. Let's see. 16 to 34. We're left with.
I'm pretty sure the meter
20,
stick I have is
4.
like 39 inches.
Times it by 0.3048 to get your answer.
Blast radius is going to be 18 yards off the river. How far away are buildings from the bank?
So at this point, you guys and you haven't seen this map much. Let me put it actually in the chat here so you can look at it. So you guys are in Alkenstar, but Alkenstar is located in the Mana Wastes. And so, let's see. When did you join? Did you get any of the desert crawling? You didn't.
Nope,
You
not
missed
really.
that, right? So at one point, the party here took and your character, of course, knows all this, or your other character knew all this, and now this one does too, I guess. But they took a trip through the desert and into the desert to essentially locate the first person that they thought was mimicking Pyronite. Yeah, so here you go. This is the perfect image. I found it. Somebody on Reddit. Thanks, Reddit.
Is it surge time?
Ooh, yeah, that's going to be even more destructive.
Not at the moment. It doesn't seem to be, but
Thank
that
goodness.
always changes by hours, and you haven't picked up. So, as you can
Look at
see
the
right
wave
here, so this I wish we had had this map earlier. So, yeah, so Martel right here, which you see is not too far from the city. Like I say, it's only like a rest or two's journey. You know, a boat like this doesn't move at speed, right? It moves leisurely. Unlike the southern boys I described, I don't know if you caught that, but we talked about how used to blow up a lot. Southern steamboats. Here's another map. Looks like a 1E map. Thanks 1E for having great resources. Yeah, so
Okay.
Martel is the point from whence you departed. And Alkenstar is, of course, the destination, the middle of Alkenstar, as it
We're
were.
talking 2 days journey distance-wise. We
So,
certainly have enough room to detonate the ship and not
an
cause
important
building
point, though. That much time at the pace at which the boat seems to be moving for the roughly hour and a half, 2 hours that you have been on it.
So we slow it down.
Well, meaning the distance isn't necessarily a 2 days journey for everyone or everything or every means of travel.
Yeah. The 2 days thing was distance-wise. If you're assume horses,
No,
it would
was
probably
not
be-
as like the crow
Oh.
flies or the horse gallops. It was
Gotcha.
as this boat is being observed to be moving.
Okay,
that-
so 2 days is the boat.
Yes. And that's
Then we have plenty
that's
of
what
time.
I'm emphasizing. The distance is not necessarily, so far that it's a 2 day horse ride or what have you.
But we can't assume that we have plenty of time because the boat could speed up its pace, or those teleportation runes could finish charging and the boat could just instantly end up
Yeah.
at the power plant.
Time is passing.
All right, time to blow up the ship and stop the ship as well, just in case.
I mean, we could just go up on deck. I could light this pyronite, throw it next to the elephant, and shout "abandon ship," and everybody jump overboard if you guys want to.
I am good with that. Let's see how this ends.
Okay.
From being up there before, where are the closest lifeboats?
Well,
Lifeboats. Who the hell
gotta
needs a
get off.
lifeboat?
We gotta get off here somehow.
It's a river, not the ocean.
well,
Being
so
underwater would actually probably.
I would
Well,
point.
I don't know.
I would give you or point out your options here if that is your chosen course. I mean, you could just go up on deck, light the fuse that's on it, toss it at the thing, and like jump overboard, and hope for the best. You
Problem is
also,
uncertain.
Gurn has at least infiltrated this engine room cargo hold type area. You had made passage once easily down that employee stairwell. So you could attempt to get to the room where Gurn is and be under the elephant, fashion some type of longer fuse, which I believe, you guys are probably carrying rope and things. You could easily figure out something to like lengthen the fuse. So just giving you an idea of maybe some options you have based on where you guys have already explored in this ship.
I think it would be best to infiltrate the engine room, stop the ship, probably set the explosive on the underside of the elephant, and light the engine room on fire to prevent restarting of the engines or damage control.
I would just interject at this point. If you detonate the power knight, there's not going to be an engine.
I know. My point is the fire is a stopgap measure to prevent anybody from running in and going, "Hey, that's a stick of pyronite. We should stop that."
Okay, so a couple of things. If we sabotage the engines and stop the ship, they're absolutely going to run in. If we just get the pyronite in there, hide it, and light the fuse without anybody knowing, then we have a clear path to get off the ship without anybody trying to apprehend the people who might have sabotaged the engine room. And if we sabotage the engine room by setting it on fire, we don't really need a fuse on the pyronite because the entire thing's just going to blow up and kill everybody on board, including us, before we have a chance to get off.
True. And don't forget, I just read the pyronite thing. It is unstable with a limited shelf life. So if we've had this for a long time, there's a good chance it'll just blow up immediately when we light it.
And the clockwork
Can you give me
machine
any
light it.
ideas?
Can Reese light it?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Could we have Reese go into the engine room and have Reese
Well, how long do
detonate it
you-
after a certain time?
The tooltip for it says 6 seconds. So the fuse it comes with will, if you light it, it detonates at the end of the turn.
It's your
regardless.
turn, yes, but
We could make a longer fuse, is what Mary said, though.
If Reese is destroyed, is there a way for us to get him back, or is it we would need a new corpse and thus technically a new creature?
I mean, there's not going to be anything left of him if he's standing next to a pyronite explosion
he can. Yes,
inside of 3 other pyronite
he can.
explosions.
You can rebuild a construct. Yeah, I mean that's
Well, I'm
that's
asking
kind.
because
That's kind of the thing. Is it's constructed.
well, what I'm asking basically is how not disposable, but how sacrificial can we make Reese, considering he's one of the characters we have
I mean,
at our disposal that's non-offensive.
functionally, he's 100% disposable.
I mean, we could just say that suddenly Krillin showed up and he's feeling very suicidal and he just volunteered to do it.
We could. Krillin would be mad at us, but it's the last thing of the session, so
Well,
He's not going to get
spent
any
an hour-
XP for any of this anyway.
we spent an hour and a half discussing how to blow up the ship, so we should probably do it if we want to end the session, like the whole AP tonight. I'm
yeah,
on board
I
with
say
that.
we
Let's-
determine charge length and light it and leave. I think 6 seconds is a bit too quick. A minute. A
Just get-
minute, maybe?
Just get Gurn to fucking craft up a minute fuse and
Get off, yeah.
A minute.
Well, so what will you do here? Do you command your construct to come to you?
Well, he's out of earshot anyway. He can hang out for a bit longer.
well, all I know is I'm gonna go up to the deck, look for a quick escape route.
The side of the boat.
Well, I got an escape plan that I don't have to get wet doing.
Well, I guess I will go down to Gurn to start talking about the plan to Gurn and ask him to make a 6 minute, not 6 minute, 1 minute fuse.
Okay, so
Well-
one moment on that. Let's do this. We will we'll go top deck. Boop.
I'll go with Saren top deck just so that it'll be easier. Doing it right now.
Okay, you guys walk up here and people are still gambling, enjoying themselves. The elephant stands there still doing its displays. Let's see here. Boop. You went upstairs. Alright, as you stand here at the door of the kitchen, you see about 6 people inside just busily making food stuffs and things, and every once in a while handing them off to others who are running into the dining room and getting things prepared, setting them on this buffet. What are you attempting to do here? The stairs Gurn went down are in the back of the kitchen.
Ooh, I know. I'll walk in and loudly exclaim, "Where is that goblin? He was supposed to be back with boss's drink 5 minutes ago."
Okay, and you just step in the room and stop and say that?
Yeah, and then kind of angle towards the stairs as if I'm searching for him.
Okay. Can you roll a reflex save?
Okay. Let's see. Spot. Feet? Where is it? Attributes.
Just acrobatics, I believe, right? Isn't that on your
Left side of
Is
the
that a
dexterity?
reflex save?
Yeah,
left side of
so
the main page, yeah.
yeah,
There
you
we
could.
go.
Is it? All right, so same difference there. Yeah, you got it. So let's see. You,
Cracked with a spoon.
almost bump into this lady on your way through. They swing at you with a spoon, but you kind of dodge out of the way, and they tell you to shoo, shoo, and they just kind of go back to their business, but they're expecting you to get the heck out of here.
Yep. Down the stairs. Off to
Okay.
find her.
So let's see here. We'll continue with you for a moment. Blah, 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 blah. You pop downstairs and you find yourself on a landing here. You hear a loud engine churning right near you. You see the same crew members that Gurn observed. They are hard at work and don't immediately notice that you have appeared on the stairs.
Do I know where Gurn went roughly? Or
You have an idea through your amazing power of shared vision. The room that he walked into.
fun?
So do
I
you
will,
see the parts of the map that are fog of war that you can
yeah.
see? So that's because Gurn has seen them.
Well, I suppose as I am walking down the stairs, as long as no one notices me too much, I will use change shape and basically cast illusory disguise on myself innately through one of my abilities to look like a shipwreck, like one of them. Not one specifically, but basically as a disguise to explain why I'm here and make my way
Okay,
back towards the front of the ship.
hold on.
Okay.
They turn around and they see you do this, and they say, "What the hell? Get out of here!" They are freaked out. They want you to leave immediately.
Well, I'll leave upwards and go this way.
And you still look like one of them.
Uh, I'll drop illusion and
What
just
do
look
you?
like my normal human form
Okay.
and walk in to find Gurn.
All right. You follow the trail and you find your hobgoblin colleague. So, you guys down here in the hold. Let's see. Y'all hold for a moment, and let's see. Back up on the passenger deck. So, Drez, uh, through telepathic means, you all have come to an agreement here, or at least your killer instinct leads you to believe that your party would be keen on your explosive idea. What are you going to do to put it in action here?
All right, I'm going to come down the hall. I'm going to dynamically move towards the next hall. I'm going to make an action-packed stride down this hall. Further down this hall in the sequel,
You see Gurn's stinky, incredible construct here, middling around the doorway, or the wall, I should say, the doorway to the kitchen nearby.
I'm going to pass further down the hall to here. I'm going to go out into the dining room, and I'm going to look around for empty plates.
Right. The whole place is full of empty plates. There's settings at every seat.
I pick up maybe a stack of 6 or 7 empty plates.
Okay. And
Then
you know,
I start huffing and puffing like I'm overworked and out of breath. And I come through here and I bustle in through the kitchen doors, acting completely like I belong there, bussing these tables, trying to serve these rich assholes. And let me know if you want me to roll anything.
well, no, continue.
All right. I just walk down here, set the plates down, and then, like I completely know what I'm doing, walk over and down these stairs.
Okay. So let's jump over here. Like your companions before you, you appear at the top of a landing of stairs. And through the power of friendship, you are able to sense where your companions have gone to. You see these same crew members back at work. They seem undeterred by the magical show they just saw from the Fuzzy Boy.
Sorry, sorry to interrupt you for a second. I ended up down in the cargo hold.
That is where you just walked.
Okay, that is the deck I'm supposed to be on, because it looks like I just came down the same stairs that I came up a minute ago, with the clockwork people playing poker and everything.
So let's see. Maybe I have you 2 places on the map. Yes, I do. So you are not there. You are over here. You see your other self?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So, am I observed by these people that are hard at work, or am I unobserved enough to just start moving stealthily?
They don't notice you per se. They are hard at work. Yep.
All right, now I'm going to try to move stealthily through here so as not to disturb them.
Okay. You can roll a check. They do not notice you as you slink around.
Okay, and do I clairvoyantly know which way the others went?
Through the power of friendship, the revealed fog of war on your map should be an indicator of the direction your companions have gone. Also, the open door in the hallway.
All right.
And the
In a
presence
stealthy
of
and
them
very
on them.
cool and very Marvel-esque manner, I stealthily down the hall.
All right. So you enter this room with presumably Power Knight in hand.
Yes.
We have been rocking and rolling straight for an hour and a half. Do you guys want to take a little break here? Do you need to go, my young friend? What's your...
I think I'll stick around at least till the things exploded, but
All right. Well, I'm
I'll
gonna go.
go fairly immediately after that. Basically.
Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna go get a drink here. I will pause it so time does not slip away from you. Feel free to use the free time to strategize. I'll be right back. All right, boys. Is that less sub 2 minutes?
I wasn't actually timing.
Yeah. Well, so as we get ready to resume, if everyone is close to here or all here, you all, for evading any type of detection or conflict, gain a hero point. Gurn gains an extra hero point for impeccable meme timing. And if everyone is here, anyone not here, say so. We'll give it a second unless anyone is hearing my voice and present. At maximum count. 15 kilotons.
Hiroshima, yeah. I'm kind of surprised that the UN just has a calculator on the internet about blast fields of theoretical charges.
I mean,
That stuff for like C4, TNT.
I mean, yeah. I guess who else would have that information, though?
Yeah, apparently it's UN Safeguard securing ammunition, protecting lives. Seems
Yeah.
to deal with stuff about. It's talking about stuff related to ammunition storage, like depots.
Well, I guess you could say theoretical use is a field use. If I know that some area that I'm a UN, some kind of peacekeeper or something, and I need to fashion some kind of something, and I need to know, what is the minimum threshold of survivability for what I'm about to face.
Well, I think it is meant for like ammunition dumps and stuff like that, not necessarily a like I'm gonna rig a charge on this tree. How far away do we need to back up?
Well, yeah, hopefully, obviously. All you need to know is all the specifications of tannerite, and then you're good. That's what all those idiots blowed stuff up with. All right, so we all here?
I'm back.
Perfect. What
I'm
about?
letting talking myself on mute.
There you go. Perfect. So, as we resume, you guys on the upper deck, are you satisfied with your view there? You clearly see, and I'll leave it paused here for a second while I'm talking. You clearly see what the hell deck did I put you on? Where you at?
We're on the top deck.
Let's see. Oh, y'all walked over there. Okay. So you clearly see that the railing here is, I mean, you could easily like hop over and into the water.
The only thing I might ask is because you made the good point of underwater is we're invincible. The guardrails, are they hollow so we can make a little air snorkels? Snorkels. Yeah. You said we're invincible underwater, right, Mary? Like every action movie.
Yeah. What kind of armor you got there?
See if there are any drinking straws laying around.
I'm just wondering, I was just wondering what the hell kind of shit y'all are building up there in Canada that you think a handrail could be used as a breathing tube? What the fuck?
No, I've been on boats where they are hollow. Like, yeah, you'd have to cut the ropes off them and, like manhandle that guard railing off. But yeah, they are hollow.
I normally like to pile on Logan, but he is a sailor.
I do go sailing once a year for a whole week.
Oh, man. All right, well, the kid is here, so you get spared what I'm thinking. But everybody knows about sailors. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, trust me,
You
I can be on the
cannot,
poop
you
deck.
cannot break this tube off and shove it in your mouth and breathe out of it. No, like a reed or something. It's just, it's solid. It's a piece of wood.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but otherwise, are you satisfied with your view here? You had something else in mind there, Saren?
And another hero point for Harper for another perfect meme.
Oh, I'm not on the channel, so. Yeah.
At this point, I'm
Yikes.
holding a potion in one hand,
Yeah, what kind of health potion?
potion of flying.
Yeah, bet. Oh, that's the other guy, Vega. I was about to say, can't you just like fly and like shit a fireball down on it? Oh, yeah, that's the other guy.
The other guy could just teleport us all out.
Yeah, be convenient.
When I mentioned to Vimgard, he
Oh.
should be prepared to grab one of these tables and throw it overboard. Titanic your way to shore. Well, I guess none of
All
us have
right.
armor on.
Give me a moment. Give me a moment here. This might mess y'all up. We're gonna activate the cargo hold so that my man here, yeah, cameraman can see that. Let me pull y'all back to the top.
Oh, Mary, remind me I have to ask you a question after we're done.
What's up?
Oh, no, nothing. It's totally about
It's about Bill.
other stuff. Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm so bad at, he emails me, and I guess it's his, he's just the nicety, right?
Oh.
And so I always see it, and then I neglect to go back and read, because I know there's a question in, like, the second paragraph.
Yep.
And there sure as hell there was. And I answered it, but then I don't know what the time difference is, but it don't really matter when it's been a day anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It don't matter.
I'm 90% sure he's an English professor in Oxford. Like, he is
Jesus.
academic. Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, his emails are on point. If
yeah.
if that's true, then I'm shitting a brick. But like, that's cool as hell. But
Yeah, anyways, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, sure, bet. All right, so are you guys satisfied up here on the top then, with your purview and location, etc.?
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
Okay, so down in the cargo hold we return, and we see. Well, look, I don't know if this will be goofy or make it lag for you guys, but for you guys on the top deck, hold on, I don't want you to see that one, but I can show you. What the hell? How about screens? Okay, look. Yeah, screen 4. Here we go. This is what they're seeing in the cargo hold. Alright, so down in the cargo hold we go. How do you guys go about fashioning this thing? And or Gurn, what have you concocted to, place under the Christmas tree?
All right, I hand the Pyronite to Gurn, and I go wait by the door.
Fair enough.
There's another door at the end of that hallway if you want to.
Have you modified it? You haven't modified it at all yet, right? Like longer fuse or anything?
No, I haven't done anything.
Well, I was meant Drez, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just straight as is. I do warn them against possibly going through the left-hand door on the way out of here, because that's where I saw those clockwork things, and you definitely don't want something like that holding you up when this explosion's about to go off.
Fair enough. And yes, that is where you observed dim things. All right, so you're just standing by the door then, you're not doing anything?
Yeah, no, I'm just waiting over here for this stuff to be ready.
Gurn, you receive the Pyronite, and what
So-
preparations you make. Yep.
We're extending the time on the fuse. How long
Yes.
do we want to give ourselves? A minute seems pretty short.
Well, I mean, with your crafting knowledge, and I presume you would have materials sufficient enough to, you got little length of rope or any kind of thing like that about your person, which presumably you would. You essentially, with your level of crafting, you can make the fuse as long as you guys need it to be. So I would tell you, though, just to give me a baseline of something, could you roll a blind percentage dice?
How do I make that blind?
You should be able to just click the. Do you have a little box in the top of the chat, like a little drop-down menu? You can like change the default mode there, back and forth, and then it should be anything you roll. Or I mean, I could do it for you. I was just trying to let you do it. It's up to you.
Yeah, go ahead. I can roll percentage. I don't know how to do it blind. Oh, there. Well, yeah. No, never mind.
You see it?
I do.
A little drop down. All right. I mean, you can do it if you want to. Now that you see it.
It's already rolled.
All right. So, you fashion the fuse, and you're confident that it's going to last a sufficient amount of time for you to exit the hold back the way you came and find someone way up to the top, the mid deck, and then jump off if that's your plan, or what is your plan? You gonna hide in a barrel?
I think
Works
people
well
who
for
were up
ours.
top had something about lifeboats, but problem is I don't know if we get away fast enough. Look at the light. Well,
We can flex a lifeboat, have an air bubble, be
Well,
underwater.
I'll hand the modified pyronite back to Driz.
Why are you handing it back to me?
So
well,
we're putting it underneath the contraption.
Okay, wasn't sure if you were doing that or the engine.
Either
Or
or.
we're just going to stick it right here underneath the elephant and get the hell out.
Okay, so you're sticking just the stick of pyronite by itself?
We have to light it, or are we gonna?
Can we put a couple of vials of fire potion or whatever beside it to make it a little bigger?
Do we need it? Or if anything, we should make tripwires for the one entrance. If someone comes in here, it blows and we all die.
yep, I'm good with that.
Can we disable the door so that it can't be opened?
I mean, I was just planning on running as fast as I could and maybe telling the workers to run too.
Yeah, that's probably best. I say we light it and run, and say run for your lives to the crew, and you know.
Hmm.
See
Well,
what happens basically.
you guys hear from above faintly the dinner bell sounding. There are several shifts of dinner that they cycle through. Obviously, you saw them preparing for one, and you hear a bell summoning folks. Other than that, the ship is churning right along.
I say light it and run.
Yeah,
Why not?
do it now. Do it while
Alright.
it's shift change.
I am going to place the pyronite, light it, and run.
Okay. The pyronite is lit. So. Ooh. That's not what I want. So. Let's do it this way. Hold on. Stop moving for a moment there. Well, I will give you this. Since you lit it, I will give you out in the hallway. What's your movement? Your movement is... So you can go 90. Let me see how far this is. All that calculate, y'all never... Okay.
Point wasn't if we get out. The point was if we sent the ship sufficiently.
All right. So, having lit the fuse long enough, or made the fuse long enough, you guys make your way out. So, I'll say it took y'all one, of your three movements, one turn, if you will, to go up and out of this level. All right.
Okay.
So, let's all go.
Of course, running and screaming, hey, y'all should run.
Yeah, as we pass through, I yell, "She's gonna blow, and I don't mean your mom."
Wow. They don't really understand what you're saying. They see you three all together, and they're kind of like, figures, bunch of weirdos. Y'all all pile up in here. What do you do as you pass through the kitchen?
Same thing. Yell that the ship's about to blow up and try to get topside as quick as possible.
You say that the ship is gonna blow? Like that's how you say it, or what do you say?
Yell fire.
Yeah, I'll say fire down in the engine room. We need everybody topside in case it blows.
And do you just gently move past these ladies? You push them, you grab them, you do anything to them?
I'm running for my life. I'd shove if I must.
I cracked out one lady on the head with a spoon.
Okay. You accost them all, and they are just they don't know what to think of what's going on right here, flabbergasted by you all passing through. So we'll say that's another, turn for you all to jump through there. Woo. And do you take
the clockwork?
Do you tell your construct to follow you? Alright, it comes chunking along. Alright, so last but not least, you all hold a moment. You pile out of here like the goon squad that you are. Let's see. There's you. Slow down, Cheech. All right. I got you.
No, I thought
I'm vaping. I'm vaping.
no, I saw Chesty's meme. I didn't see that until just now.
Oh, you did. Seinfeld. Yeah. All right. So you guys appear topside here. You see, maybe you don't. At the first opportunity, which would have been a moment ago, what do you guys, Vimgarn and Saren, do you go ahead and you wait for them to know that it's lit, or have you already jumped off?
Once I see them, can I do a strength check to lift this table that's right beside us to throw it overboard?
Sure, you can try.
All right.
I just keep my eyes looking down there for them, and the second I see them go to jump over the railing, I'll jump with them. I'm not going to go early, though.
I can do this strength.
Or athletics, if that's easier. So you grab a hold of it. It slides across the deck towards you, but as you go to lift it, you unfortunately find that it is made of solid hardwood and is not lifted.
All right, then I jump overboard.
All right. Saren, you stand waiting for the rest of the folks. What do you think about Vimgar jumping go ahead and jumping over?
I just think to myself, that may have been a little early, but I like the enthusiasm. Like I said, I'm going to wait until I see Drez jump over there, or one of them jump over before I bail.
A kraken appear. No. All right, so
Bring it on.
Just at that moment, the ship teleports on top of solid concrete, and then goes splat.
all right, so you three bumble up these stairs in a hurry.
I do not bumble, sir.
You fumble up these stairs, and the
Jump.
clock is ticking on you. What you do?
I shout, abandon ship, and then I do a perfect backflip over the rail into a swan dive, knife into the water without even a splash.
All right, you belly flop right into the river.
At least let me roll acrobatics to see if I'm successful.
Okay, I'll give you that
belly
one.
flop from 35 foot high. Ugh.
Oh, okay, you're successful. It almost was very not successful. All right, beautiful, beautiful.
I too will jump and attempt to, not die from the event.
You get away almost clean. Your foot catches the rail just barely, and your form is off.
I go for
So you hit the water hard.
I go for a 1.5 twists, 1 flip.
All right. You land it perfectly. Gurn, you are last on board, and time is of the essence and short. You sense it since you made the thing. What do you do?
I like the buoyancy idea. Reese is gonna need some for sure. Both myself and he will try to bring a table over.
Okay. You fail miserably. He lifts one right up over his head.
Okay. I'll just jump over.
You want him to toss it or hold on to it?
Yeah, hold on to it, I guess. Jump in with it.
Okay. All the people that were sitting at that table are, they call for help, and seemingly some shield marshals are on their way. You said you go ahead and leap?
Yeah.
All right, you leap, and you command him presumably to do the same, and follow you. All right, and do you all swim away as fast as possible?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, and I believe your swim speed is just like half your movement speed or something, yeah? Something like that.
I'm not sure.
I believe as long as you're not wearing heavy armor.
Heavy and you're sinking or whatever. So, everyone but Vimgard is fucked. No, I mean, everyone is good except Vimgard because he's heavy. No kidding. So, you guys swim away. As you do so, are you swimming above or below water?
Below as much as I can.
I'd say above until I think basically above as long as possible, and then diving below when the explosion is close.
It's close.
So
I'm swimming below.
I'm swimming below then.
All right, so you all dive underwater just moments before the fuse completes. A stillness is felt in the air for just a moment when suddenly the boat, hold on, let me fix that for you. Hold. The boat. Where's it at? Where's it at? I know, hold on. There we go. The boat is utterly obliterated. The subduction pulls you all back towards where the explosion occurred in a rip-roaring, funneling tornado of activity where wood and pieces of body parts and all kinds of shit is flying around. You are sucked in and then spit out in an almost like geyser type fashion. You fly up in the air. Everybody roll percentage dice.
Oh no. D100, right?
Yeah, it should be the one on the far right on the dice tray.
Oh,
And it can be open. It doesn't have to be one.
Holy shit, Saren.
it's pretty impressive, yeah.
I have a feeling this is how many feet up in the air we go. So, good luck, sir.
So this is how many feet up in the air?
I'd like the hero point.
You just got thrown. Indeed, you do all have a bevy of hero points available to you, or at least from this session. If now knowing what you do, you want to reconsider.
I have cat fall, which negates 25 feet of falling, so I'm just going to stand.
Fair enough.
I'd like the hero point again. I need to be going down, not up.
I'm out of hero points. I'm at 24.
All right. So, are you all? Let me know when everyone is sufficiently hero pointed.
Damn it, I should have kept my first score.
Would you allow me a reflex save to see if I can chug the potion of flying I had put in my hand?
Sure.
Oh, right.
It would be well, you would have to catch it just before you start getting like sucked back. So that would require quite a strong sense. I'll give you a DC 30.
Okay. Want me to do it public just for fun?
Sure.
Oh, nailed
Oh,
it.
there you go.
All right.
Fly
so
away.
you pop this potion and chug it.
Can you catch me?
Presumably in the air, yeah. Like as you've been thrown up in the air, or right before as you're kind of being, when you feel yourself going up. Yes.
He just muted.
Yeah. Involuntarily muted. All right, so
I would like to try to catch him.
grab a hold of him. Well, hold a moment on that idea. So, final rolls being, I'm gonna go up from the bottom and take the earliest one I see for you. Gurn, you flop down on the water and take a measly 37 points of damage. Your face is red. The water is very caustic all around you, but you are well alive. The same with you, Liam. You flop down and
Ow.
take straight to the belly 39 points of damage. Let's see. Oh, that should open your card. Hold on, it doesn't. So you are quite alive, but exhausted, damaged. The water around you churns and burns. Saren, you shoot up 91 feet in the air after chugging this potion. What do you sprout wings when you chug it? Let's read the tooltip here. You potion of flying. you just start flying. So you just like do a Willy Wonka situation where you start floating in the air. Your all hair on your body is singed off as the remnants of the blast, just kind of linger about you, fiery as they are. Vimgard, you barely flop up in the air and take just a measly 12 points of damage, barely chapping your hide. Same with you, Drez, with your.
I need to interrupt you for a second. I was wrong about my cat fall. Since I'm a master, it negates 50 feet of falling.
Yeah. So yes, Drez, you fly up in the air, but it's seemingly a pleasurable experience for you as you take it all in. As you come gracefully back to the water with perfect form, you slip under. And how do you guys now make a attempted getaway? You are disheveled, damaged. One party member is flying in the air. This boat is in no condition at all. Whatever remnants of it is left is now quickly sinking towards the bottom of the river here. There does not seem to be anyone immediately alive. However, you do hear some faint screaming and groaning. You can't be sure if it is from like nearby, settlements that may have seen this, or from the city itself, which surely saw something. What will you do?
Just keep swimming.
Yeah, so I'm going to start swimming towards the nearest bank.
Yeah, me
Just
too.
keep swimming. Just keep
Just
swimming.
keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Ignore the
Okay.
screams.
You make your way to the shore and you climb up. Disheveled. Your ears are, ringing. The light the sensitivity is all off. You find yourselves, though, you gather together. Saren, you see your party members disheveled on the shore here. What do you do? Do you just stay hovering? I believe you just have control. You can just fly like Superman, basically. All right, you come crashing down on your head. Your neck breaks. You're dead. No. What is this? Okay, that doesn't help me. All right, so what do you guys do? You are essentially in the not the worst part of the desert, but you are on the bank of the river here. There's not really a city or anything, but you can in the distance see Alkenstar.
All right, so first thing is we have to get our story straight for the authorities. We found out about this plot by Lovelace to blow up the power plant to make it look like a terrorist attack so that she could amass a private army. We snuck onto the boat. We confronted Lovelace and her wizard buddy. The wizard buddy was
failed.
kind of crazy.
Well, to be sure, Dunsmith back at the tavern and the mayor, they're aware of this. They're the ones that put you on this mission.
Well, right, but I'm saying, like, we can't just go
tried
back
to
and say,
stop
hey,
them.
we decided to just blow up everybody on the boat.
We tried
So what
to
we
stop
say is,
them, but the
yeah, we
wizard
confronted them, and the
took
wizard,
boat.
yeah, he just set
Tried
off the
to-
pyronite, like, and killed everybody. He said, if we can't blow up that thing, then we'll do our attack right here. And luckily, we were able to get out in time. But unfortunately, we couldn't get anybody else off the boat.
Fair.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yep,
Agreed.
agreed.
All right. So you slowly but surely then make your way back to the tavern.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here. Let's pull us all over there.
Here comes the sun.
We could always
It's not
we could
alright.
always not even admit to being on the boat. So yeah, we couldn't get on the boat. We were trying to. We were going to ambush it from shore, and the thing blew up.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Let's get you over here.
And I guess I'd also like to render first aid on anyone who.
So here's
Needs
what
it.
we need. Here's what we need. Here's what we need, gentlemen. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens in front of me. Let me see now. Perhaps let me do this to make it nice and clean. So, as you spin this yarn to Dunsmith, and the mayor will say is here as well. I don't think we ever had a token for her. Anyhow, go ahead and let me see your deceptive skills from everyone.
All right, before I do that, I am going to activate my.
Follow the expert.
Oh, yes.
No, that thing
Oh.
right there.
Nice.
That
Okay.
gives me a +1 bonus.
Fair. Activated. Add you to add a circumstance as you do. Okay. Let me see. Vim, or well, we'll go here. Liam, you roll real quick in case you got to run. All right. Gurn. See yours. Ooh, fair enough. You slip that into your drink. And here, I got it thing. I can check it, make sure it adds it. If not, reroll. It says that's +1. I don't think it added that. Right, just
I had-
+1.
Wait, what's my charisma?
I see charisma and
Yeah, I don't
I see
think it did.
charisma and trained, but I don't see. All right, so Vimgar, let me see you deceive.
Can I use intimidation and just have a straight face the whole time?
Sure, you can try. All right. All right. So as we come down to it, Dunsmith is on the fence, and the mayor with her. They don't quite believe your story. Something is not adding up. For the last account, they turn to Saren.
Dun, dun, dun.
Done, done.
They listen intently as he describes the action. However, his ruthless nature betrays him, and he gives away the plot, or the truth, I should say, and lets it. That they are not 100% confident, but they definitely distrust you, and they have, get ready for it, now truly deemed you outlaws of Alkenstar. They thank you for your help. They wish you well on your further adventures, but they politely tell you that they would rather not continue their business or with you. They say that although they can't be sure, they are disapproving, I should say, of your methods. However, for saving the day, they give you all a fat loot of 2,000 gold, or excuse me, 2,500 gold. So you all get 500 apiece. Krillin emerges from his room just after the gold has been distributed. So he doesn't receive any of that. Wait, where's he at? But you explain all of the adventures you have had in his absence. And you, for the last time, level up to 11.
Woohoo!
Huzzah.
And there you have it, boys.
We did it.
That's it.
It is-
Your mission
I would
is
like-
over.
I would like to ask
Pyronite, I will say, is probably not secured, but if anyone controls it, it is these folks here, right? Parsis and Dunsmith and the mayor and, you know, the Gattleby and etc. Lazarius is working in the kitchen washing dishes still.
So Loveless was on that boat then, for sure.
Loveless was for sure on that boat.
Hey, got
Yeah.
our vengeance.
I start partying, yeah.
How did the book want us to resolve that?
Yeah.
I mean, you did the way you just did it.
Yeah.
No, they wanted you to disable all the bombs. So you sneak around the ship, and then in various rooms, there's like enemies and shit. And then you got to find where the bombs are. And then I think it would work better, honestly. I mean, Theater of the Mind, you know, that's the classic. But I think it would work better if there was some kind of like on the map, they had drawn a bunch of people. Because, like I said, if I'd have dropped down 40 tokens, that would have been so laggy, right? It wouldn't have really worked well. But the whole thing is like on the boat, they're supposed to be like, you know, I kept describing it like
Sneaking
as
through the vents and that
yeah,
part.
yeah, exactly. Sneaking
It's
through the
supposed to be a
vents.
hitman mission, not
Right.
detonate the place, go home, and say we totally didn't do it.
Which I mean, really, the only angle for that is, you know, you're gonna like kill people, right? And I mean, if they're, you know, you guys were really, and this is by the game clock. I mean, y'all were on that boat for like 2, pushing 3 hours, and it says that those runes activate after like a few hours. And so the idea with the runes is that they have a suspicion that y'all are on their tail. So the teleportation runes are going to put the boat right at the falls. So, you know, if you haven't really made any progress after a few hours, I mean, I don't know. That's just like a fail.
It's a game over.
It's a fail scenario, yeah. Because if it teleports, I mean, you're fucked. It's there. Your only
Is there, like-
option would be to disable them. But in the
Is there,
book,
like, a
though,
boss battle?
not for real,
Loveless
not
battle?
like no, not. I mean, yeah, I mean, Loveless is like there. She's like the last person that you have to fight when you find her back up. So you know the like top deck where all those the rooms where the door said don't go in there. That's like
Yeah.
all the VIP rooms and lounges, and that's where she's at. Shit. Yeah.
Where were the other 2 bombs?
One of them is down in that cargo hold, and the other one is in their like top deck up there where they are. But yeah, I mean she's
also kill them.
she's like back up in there. Well, so the thing is the idea is they know they can't arm like all the bombs because you have the one key, right? And so the idea is that you start going around like, yeah, and you find one. The glass elephant is like an obvious one. And I kind of sped that up and I let them come and like display that. That's a thing that like, you know, you would have found it in the cargo hold first, right? And been able to like see it. But then almost I could have said like, okay, you find it in the cargo hold and then all of a sudden, you know, it goes up and like, oh, you got to go upstairs to find out why it went up kind of thing. And there's lots of different like little ways, but it's really the thing that y'all never really kind of went into is that where it says private party, that thing Drez saw, those rooms are where like all the shit is on the boat. Cause that's where you go find, all the, basically anybody you can fight. But it does look like it would have been a cool little thing because once it starts going south and she knows, you know, it's gonna like lose her contingent. Huh?
I was going to ask, maybe next week could we just fight her? Like more battle of the week, but
Yeah, sure.
I would love to fight.
You'd have to be back at level 10 though, because you're supposed to be a level 10 to do that. But
Yep.
she basically just like boards herself into a room with a fucking Gatling gun
Ooh.
and just starts like,
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, yeah, she does that Danny DeVito meme. I just started blasting. Yeah.
Well, I mean, thinking about it, I do believe our our solution works. Technically, it kills Loveless.
Oh
It
yeah.
gets rid of the Pyronite charges.
It just changes all of our alignments to evil now.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
I'm chaotic neutral anyway, so I can do whatever
Yeah.
the hell I want.
Well,
Yeah.
even if you're neutral, killing a boat full of innocent civilians is supposed to.
Yeah,
make
but
for
you
a
can
greater
also
good.
justify that with the trolley problem. We killed a boat full of innocent civilians to prevent World War III with super explosives.
I'm fine just going evil and let's just do Ravenloft now.
I mean, essentially
Just-
though, what the way they like intend for you to solve that is either you run around the boat trying to figure out like where the bombs are and you disarm them and then you go find Loveless and confront her, right? Or you spend too much time just dicking around and events kind of push their way into you have to do something now. So essentially, if the boat teleports, you would have to just go fight Loveless to stop her from arming the bomb, because it becomes the classic kind of trope of I've started the detonation sequence, and for some reason, my master plan here, I've put a like 5-minute timer on this bomb. You know what I mean? That classic trope of the bomb is ticking, and with 2 seconds left, I snip the right wire, kind of a deal. And then, so like, if you beat Loveless, then you go around trying to disarm the bombs. There's like a whole list of like, boat obstacles. Oh, the boat's rocking back and forth. They love all their disable device checks and that kind of stuff. Anyhow, GG.
Here comes
Yeah.
the
Good
sun.
adventure.
GG.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
mean,
was only
that's-
around for 1/3 of 1/3.
Well, but I mean, honestly, and I would, I mean, and because you're missing out on like a ton of content. Essentially, it's all kind of packed in those rooms. But like when y'all first got on the boat and Drez was like, "Okay, I got this stick of pyronite," I was like, "Why wouldn't you just do that? Even before you even got on the boat, why wouldn't you, instead of hiding in luggage, just fill up some luggage with explosives?" You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's very
Yeah.
American of me.
Well, the only problem I see with that is how do you detonate it, if you're not on the boat. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, okay,
Bro,
we've got the easy solution.
he got corpses stitched together with gears and shit. I think you could come up with a detonation device.
But we are all forgetting though that typically people don't just murder all the civilians.
Right. I mean, that
They're
is
not playing it right.
that is the obvious like thing. But I go back to what Dress said. I mean, I get it that's kind of the big irony of this thing is y'all are outlaws of Alkenstar, and then you end up working, for the law. But at the end of the day, like, would an outlaw of Alkenstar give a shit? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you guys did. You guys did probably just. You probably did just like really fuck up the economy. I mean, at least you just caused a seismic wealth shift.
I looked at it. The crater was pretty big for a 1 kiloton nuclear bomb. So the river definitely has a new lake.
Yeah.
And we helped in the redistribution of the wealth.
True, we killed the
If
upper class.
money doesn't move, the economy doesn't grow, and now money has changed hands.
And it
It's
does
been
fit my
evaporated.
character profile. At least my whole backstory was I'll do anything for vengeance. So
You did it.
And
mean,
I was only ever in it for the money.
That's basically my second character, yeah.
And I did murder the first guy while you guys wanted to keep him alive.
And I did shoot that dude in the face one time.
Yep. So it's agreed. We're all evil, but it works the best way.
Well, you're
yes,
all.
we are.
I think you're all some version of neutral. So It's fair.
I mean, yeah, quite arguably, we killed civilians, but think about how many people would die in the war.
Well, here's the thing that I would ask, and I don't know, I haven't looked at it at all, so it's probably answered, but like, in the remaster with no alignment, other than obviously, I guess, ethics. I mean, what stops you from doing that?
Nothing.
Like bad tact to mass murder.
Well, I mean, there are people who can't ever choose the main dialogue option in video games, and those
That's a
people,
bit
I'm
worse
sure,
than-
saved everybody or died
Yeah.
trying.
Well, I think of anecdotally, I downloaded some months back, maybe even a year ago, like there's a million of these like AI TTRPG solo, and it was like a Zork type prompt where it was like, what do you do? And I mean, within like 5 prompts, I had like leveled a town with like my eye laser, and it's like, can't just give me
Yeah.
unlimited
With
power.
great power comes great fuckery.
Yeah,
Yeah,
indeed.
Like
Yeah.
Mass Effect. The funnest way to play it is that way.
Yep.
But for us,
Right.
like what we did, we pretty much bypassed the last chapter and killing the final boss.
Yeah, we actually never had an encounter that I could use level 10 stuff in.
No, me. Yeah.
Yet, as you sit in the bar drinking, sulking,
I mean, yeah, quite honestly thinking about it, it's doesn't really seem like there's any downside to just sinking the ship. Even if you don't blow it up with pyronite and you just, burn it or punch a holes in its keel, like disabling the ship beyond repair just seems like the best option.
as you sit drinking, skulking, smoking, burning through the door, bursts this be. And you're all in combat with her.
Wait, who?
Wait, I was level 10 or level 11?
I don't know, bro. You're half drunk. Whatever level you seem to be at right now.
Okay,
Is
done.
she holding a fleshlight?
Yes. Half melted. Let's see what she's got in the barrel. Oh yeah.
11:30. I
I need,
really gotta go to bed.
Get out of
Alright.
here.
Good
I
night.
Have a
need,
good one.
We'll continue.
GG.
We'll do this next week so that you're here.
I need to re-roll my initiative. I get a +2 circumstance bonus now.
All right.
GG. It's been fun. I'll probably try
GG,
to join
buddy.
y'all on Heckon Sun. Hey, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. See y'all.
All right.
Well, that's if you're here next week and the FBI doesn't pick you up for your internet search.
No
history.
shit. Well, look, we'll actually play this, but let's do it next week when he's back. How about that?
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
is it worth discussing what our plan is from here on out?
Yes. Let's discuss. While discussing, look, I think I can. Wait a minute. Let me do this for a moment. What do you guys want to do on? I mean, I'm down to keep doing stuff on Wednesdays or go back to bi-weekly on Wednesdays. Hold on a moment. I'm starting up something different.
I mean, schedule-wise, I'm good with whatever works for you guys. Do
Yeah,
you want
still
to switch over to Dungeon Crawl Classics?
Game wise, I'm down with the idea that every second week do the Dungeon Crawl Classics, and then in the off weeks, try
Well. Refresh your browser.
Yes. I'm Adventure 4.
Dibs
Oh.
Adventure 1.
I don't think there's any passwords.
Oh, it's shit. Yeah, none.
So yeah, I'm down, bro. I'm so down.
I mean,
Alright, let's see the
I really
video
want to
stuff.
do either this or Elder Scrolls if we're gonna branch out to something new.
Yeah, and I'd like to give Traveler a try. The more I've been looking into Delta Green, I'm not sure how well our party would do with the sheer amount of
Yeah,
skill
have you
setting
been looking
required.
at that? Is it that's a new version or they're reprinting some version? What are they doing right now?
Traveler?
Yeah, because
Yeah, Traveler is
that
a
one
new
that
version.
podcast is playing is the new version, right?
Yeah, version 7 or something, I think they call it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the one that Nico downloaded.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm down, dude. I need to look at. I know there's a rule system. You know how Foundry works, kind of. There's a rule system, but I don't know if there's any like pre-made stuff. Like, so DCC right here is just barely getting into Foundry. They have, but I think it'll be kind of a quick onboarding because they have a shitload of stuff for Fantasy Grounds. You know, that old shit. It's been around forever.
Yeah.
Which I hear and I think from what I see works great, but everybody has to pay, which sucks.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the game master has to pay like $200 and then
Ooh.
like each player has to buy like a $50 license.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's redonkulous. But it's the OG, it's the Mac Daddy. It's been around for like 20 years or more. It's been around as long as Roll20 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
But
Foundry does have the Traveler map tools and everything as well.
yeah. But that's the great thing about Foundry is like there may not be some official, but it's some shit, you know. But anyway, I bought for this you basically you buy the rule book so that you can have the rule book in game, and it has the little beginner adventure called Portal Under the Stars, which is cool. But I'll tell you, man, honestly, so I played with old dude on that demo night. Bro, he kind of showed me the power of just having a Zoom like whiteboard and just like drawing on it. Like, I mean, my man whipped out the whole little adventure, and you know, there weren't no tokens at all. It was just little X's and arrows and him doodling the little passageway and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
It
we
was,
started D&D.
I mean, you bet, right? Like on notebook paper. So, but then I look at this little map they put in here. I was like, man, this is dope as hell. This is better than the map. Well, no, it's not better than the map in the book. It's pretty fire.
Like, is there any books or shit we need for Dungeon Crawl Classics?
Well, so with DCC, there's just the one book. There's not like the, game master book, player book. There's the one big fat book, and it's got all the rules for classes and combat. It's got all the tables in it. It's you could say the most old school thing about it probably is all the tables, right? Because like everything you do, there's a lot of different effects related to it, and then you roll on a table to see what they are. So the judge, as they call it, becomes really a master of knowing where to go in the book, which I think VTT is probably going to be a boon. There's just going to be a button right there to click.
Like, is it worth us reading through to learning the finer points of the game before we try to go with this?
Well, I would say that's a great question because it's kind of up to you guys on this. I mean, I would recommend, and again, I don't have a vast depth of experience, but my man did the demo night the other night, and he did it at level 2 to, actually teach us the game, right? Level 0 and like level 1, level 0 100% is like random character creation, whereas level 1 is more like intentional character creation, if that makes sense. So like
Yeah.
if you want to have the full authentic, if you will, like DCC experience, and I mean it says verbatim in the book. I'll share a PDF with you guys. It says verbatim in the book, like, we recommend you try this. If you don't do the like just random character in a 0 level, they say if you roll a character absolutely no drop a thing and re-roll it, no point by standard array, roll them in order random. They like
And accept what you get.
and accept it, and they really emphasize the random. And I'll tell you, dude, and again, all anecdotal, but I ran this with my son, and he's 11, and I didn't ask or prompt or emphasize at all. And when we got done, he said, I really like that. I really love all the just randomness that was happening. And I mean, he's right, dude. It's fun as hell. I mean, I think, well, I don't know. Did I tell you guys? I think I typed it in. If you didn't read it, I mean, I don't blame you, but I'll give you a brief little example from last night. So I was playing a wizard because I wanted to have a pro kind of showing me how the spell casting works. That's obviously one of the more complicated points of basic RPG stuff. I think you would agree. And so anyway, I picked the wizard. Here's the deal. So when you cast a spell, there's a thing called mercurial magic. And these are mostly like weird little quirky things that happen, yes? So when I cast sleep, my mercurial magic made it where now every time I cast the sleep spell, I sweat blood, right? So then my man was like, all right, well, with this spell, you landed so good, the score you got, you can put one guy supernaturally to sleep. You have to set a condition. And I was like, well, you got to be sweating blood and then like kiss the dude, right? So boom, it's hilarious because obviously who's sweating blood? Well, me, if I just cast the spell, but otherwise, nobody. So like, it's just all this random quirky stuff. Dude at one point was playing a cleric, and the thing with the cleric is your god can like give you disapproval for what you want to do, backstabs with the thief, I should say. All you got to do is pass a little sneaky check, and then you can go with it, right? You could burn luck, though, to make sure you're going to pass if you want to make sure you get that stab. It changes your dagger die from a D4 to a D10. I mean, there's just all this little stuff about it that is just fucking awesome, honestly, dude. But yeah, there's the quick start rules that are out there as a PDF free. And I mean, I have the rule book that, if you wanted some more information about a specific class, I can show you in the course of our game,
It's basically
yeah.
the same class setup as D&D then, for the most part.
Well, so, and I haven't even begun to touch on like third party, but yes, I mean, it's thief, it's wizard, it's warrior.
If you go to actors, you can bring them all up. And check them out.
Yeah. I should have made that available to all of you. There should be a whole little mess. Now, these guys, what you're going to see, let's see here. Are those, yeah, these are going to be like level 0-ish folks, I think. Let me look at some of them here. See, yeah, all these folks are going to be level 0 cuz so in the book, in the rule book, there's an adventure right off the rip. There's a 0 level funnel. That's a pretty fun one. It's the one that I've fucked around with the most. Some of these dudes are not player characters, though. Some of these are like actual. These might actually be mobs. Hold on, let's see here. Well, yeah, here, look. Let me make this where you can see it. This actually is definitely all the mobs and shit. So here you go. You can like see some of the mobs. If you go, well, I guess you guys can't do that though. Let me see.
Cave cricket, the cave octopus.
Let me do this. Yeah, well, nothing is set. I'll tell you the best thing to go. Let me link something in our Alkenstar chat. So, Sorcerer. There's a website called Purple Sorcerer that lets you just generate. Here you go. So for the funnel, right? The thing that people love about it is you take, and you've heard me say this a million times. Check that link I just clicked. You take 4 to 6. Some of them are even 8 per player 0 level characters. So these are definitely not heroes. These are like peasants and idiots and, you know, town drunks and craftsmen and weavers and some nobles and whatever, right? And you quest, you thirst for, you know, something more, or some other circumstance happens, right? This little adventure portal under the stars here is the hook is this village like elder is dying, and in his dying stories or last words, he tells you how this star in the sky has not been seen since he was a child, and it forebodes this ancient vault that opens up, this archway that can only be seen under this star's starlight. And you go and search for it and find it, and then of course, inevitably, as you enter this place, you find that this portal is a kind of a one-way deal, and so now you must contend with what the portal under the stars, right? Which is great, because if you think about it, if a group of folks walks in a place like that and something evil or something pops up, well, they're just going to turn tail and run, right? So you can't, because you can't leave out of there. But anyway, that purple sorcerer site, that dude apparently is obviously a super duper great supporter of the game, and the company loves him and supports him. But that little generator specifically that I linked you to, you can basically click a button and it'll give you 4 random, you know, boom, boom, boom. And then, you know, you can go in and mess with parameters if you want to. The classes, back to them for a second. Just like the OG old school, elves, dwarves, halflings, that's a class. So, you know, that has its a whole nother like can of worms with it, because they have different abilities.
So these generate an occupation. Is that?
Yes. So with your 0 level character, your occupation will determine if you are indeed a different you know, being, as it were, race, as everybody else says it. Yeah. So if you're a dwarven blacksmith, then if you make it out of the funnel, and you get your 10 XP and you level up to 1, you are now a dwarf. Now you're still a whatever profession you are, which I thought was just kind of flavor inconsequential. But here's a great example. We were in this little cavern, and the guy that was playing the cleric, he was like, well, hey, do I have any ability that would let me, you know, look for tracks? And the judge was like, well, so yeah, what is your occupation? And he looks and he's like, my occupation was like herder or something like that, right? Something with animals that was, oh yeah, you would definitely be able. So he got to move up the dice chain with his checks. He got to roll a D24 instead of a 20. And it was just like, oh yeah, that's awesome. That's perfect. So every kind of little flavorful thing can be turned into a mechanical advantage in this game. It definitely rewards you for that. And there's no, like, you don't really have to worry so much. Like, there's no, you know, Shake probably won't be playing this with us, right? Because there's no min-max and shit. Because there's too much randomization. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's great. It's great, dude. Some spells as a caster, you like that, you know, you kind of a spell castery kind of person, I think, right? So there's no spell slots, like 1, 2, 3. I got this many spell slots. You can just cast, but magic isn't something that you necessarily have like a strong grasp or even control of any kind over. And so some spells, you might land on a result that requires you to acquire a corruption. And this is like a permanent, like your face is melted off. Or like, think like wrestling from Dragonlance, but like even more fucked up. You know what I mean? And there's a great picture I linked earlier that's from the book that shows, like, when it talks about corruption, it's like the next page is this chart essentially, right? That shows a normal looking dude level 0, level 1 wizard, all the way down through till he's just like a fucked up lobster bug man. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, I'll dive into this. I put a link in there for any flip. That's a core rulebook you can flip through. You just can't download it unless you sign up for it. But you can go through the entire core rulebook for free.